what are some of the most common safety precautions that homeowners tackling DIY projects often overlook?
Well, boy, I wish I could pinpoint just one, but it really kind of is all of them. There's this whole, what I call this rebirth in DIY. I know many of your readers are already doing this. It's kind of inherent in the types of homes that they live in, but we're in such a hurry all the time that we forget to think about safety. Now, 3M embarked on this kind of campaign to remind people so you don't end up in the emergency room. The simplest thing that anybody can do is to wear eye protection. And this is something that I think people forget constantly. And in particular, people that wear glasses, just regular glasses, are like, oh, I've got my regular glasses, I'm just going to wear those. But that doesn't protect the envelope of your eye, depending on what you're doing, whether you're using a chainsaw or you're even assembling some furniture or doing the lawn and garden work. Just behind the lawnmower itself can kick up a lot of debris. And if there's one single thing I want people to take away is when you're doing any kind of work around your home, make sure you get a good pair of safety glasses. And 3M spent some time designing safety glasses that actually look really nice and they're very comfortable. So when you put them on, they feel like regular sunglasses, but they cover your eyes, they protect you, and they have tinted versions, they have clear versions, whatever it is. And they're inexpensive. They start under $10. And so, in my opinion, there's no reason not to use them. They're affordable, comfortable. Why would you not protect your eyes?
Absolutely. Now, to kind of ask you another general broad question, are there any DIY projects that tend to be more prone to injury than others?
Yeah.
Some that revolve around a specific tool?
Sure.
Like that?
Yeah. No. I mean, I think that obviously any kind of power tool usage is where you really have to be concerned with. Circular saws, inherently, when you're using a circular saw, the blade is spinning counterclockwise as you're running the saw forward, and it's cutting the lumber or the timber, whatever you may be cutting, from the bottom up. And so it's actually shoving the debris up into the air. So this is where eye protection comes very important because you're kind of bent over looking at the saw. Most people kind of line up the blade with the line they're cutting. So you're like looking right at the flame of the fire, and that's where eye protection becomes very critical. Respirators, this is another area that people need to consider as well. You're doing painting projects. Maybe you're outside and you suffer from allergies and you got to cut the lawn and grass clippings are all over the place. 3M's got a whole line of respirators with this flow-through vent on the front, which what I like about that is whenever anybody wears like a cotton respirator and they wear safety glasses, typically when you start breathing and you're really working, you're kind of getting going, the hot air escapes up kind of just above your cheeks and it hits the glasses, starts to fog up, and you're like, oh, these things are driving me crazy, I'm going to take them off. Then we defeat the whole purpose. So with this vent on the front, it allows the air to evacuate quicker, and then you don't fog up your glasses, and then you can keep yourself safe.
Sounds great. Now, obviously, as you said, there's been a whole new trend in DIY, but sometimes the professionals really are the better people for the job. At what point should someone tackling a DIY project consider calling in a professional, or when might they consider it unsafe for them to carry out themselves?
Yeah, that's a terrific question because I want to give people and I want to empower them, for years to do things themselves. But I also always want people to know their limitations when it comes to projects. This is really important. The real benefit for consumers and homeowners now is that there's more information available now than there ever has been, whether it's magazines, television, internet, books, all that stuff's there. And videos now, the big trend with most companies now is they're throwing out videos to say, hey, this is how you put in a toilet. This is how you install a kitchen sink or your cabinets, or maybe this is how you do electrical work. I've always equated home improvement to kind of a train ride, and there's different stops along the way. Carpentry's your first one. Along with painting, that's kind of together where you start that out, gain some confidence. From there, maybe you can do a little light plumbing, maybe it's replacing a flapper on a toilet. And the last one's electrical, but you really have to have a healthy respect for electrical and how it works. You get to a point where you're like asking yourself questions, okay, do I have any idea what I'm doing? Is there any way that I may hurt myself doing this project? Or is there anything I could do to hurt my house or harm my family? If you answer yes to any one of those questions, it might be time to consider a professional. And I still want to tell people that, you're still doing it yourself because you actually have to write the check. So that's sort of a form of doing it yourself.
Sounds good. Well, are there any general tips that homeowners can really take away for their general DIY projects from today?
Yeah, this is what I want. No matter what you're doing, I really want people to focus on doing stuff safe. And the 3M folks do as well. I mean, not only just about the products that they have, but whenever you're doing this project, think for just a second, just a beat, take a beat and say, all right, I'm going to be doing this. Is anything going to get in my eyes? Do I have to worry about breathing anything? How about my hearing? Hearing protection is another one. You use these power equipment outside. The decibels are huge. And what's that going to do long term to my hearing? All those three things. A little investment that takes nothing. Once you have it, they last. It's good quality stuff. And always keep safety in mind whenever you're doing any project around your home. And that goes for professionals as well. I'm a former contractor myself, and I'll be honest with you, back in the late 80s, I was not a guy that wore a lot of safety glasses. I used to get stuff in my eyes all the time. And my wife finally said to me, I swear to God, I'm going to leave you if you don't start wearing glasses. And so I did, and I subscribed to the edict of happy wife, happy life. And I'm here to say that my eyes are in good shape. And now I am really religious about putting safety glasses on before I do anything. It's almost like, when you get into the habit, Whitney, it's you drive a car, you put your seatbelt on, And I know for me, if all of a sudden, I get distracted and I start to move the car and I'm like, oh, I don't have my seatbelt on, something's missing. Make safety a habit. We think about habits as being a bad thing. This is a good thing.
Absolutely. One last question for you. I know you've talked a lot about, making sure that you have all the right protection. Mm-hmm. In what case, gloves are kind of, I feel like they have their use and they don't. At what point is it actually unsafe to be using gloves for certain applications?
Yeah, gloves are a good one. It does depend on some of the projects that you're doing. Some certain power equipment, me personally, I like to have my hands on there. However, gloves have come a long way. In particular, there's now these kind of rubber featured gloves, 3M has them as well, where they're kind of tacky. They're almost like, they have versions of it. Some of the NFL players, the receivers wear those gloves that are really tacky to help them catch the ball. Well, it's that same sort of technology that's even, helps you grip better. And as long as it's a snug fitting glove, it's not too big and it fits you, it's almost, in a way, it creates a second skin so that you protect your hands, nothing kicks up on there, and you get better, you get a better grip and better control. So, if you're not someone that does a lot of work with your hands and you don't have a lot of calluses like a lot of professionals do, gloves are probably a good idea to wear at all times. And if people want more information, they want to find out where they can get these products, they can go to 3M's website. They have one for this called 3mtech.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Lou. I think this is really valuable information.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.